video on purchase of land. And before then, my name is Igwe Lawrence. I am a senior consultant with Xylos International Group. And please, before we go into the topic, please do like our video and then subscribe to our channel so that whenever we come up with new intel on real estate, either in Africa or globally, you will get it. Today we are treating land titles in Canada, and also how you can purchase, how all the information you require if you wish to buy properties from Canada. Lands in Canada are dealt with on provincial level by what they call land title offices. Just like in US, it's in states, the states that manage land, and in Nigeria here, it is the state governments that manage land, so it cuts across. These land title offices regulate, register lands in Canada. So, if you are ever going to have any land, you need to register, or do any land transaction, you need to register with them. This land, they call them land title offices, LTOs, in each province. It is guided by the Torrance law. That Torrance law already applies. The Torrance law is making it possible. That is ownership of land by registration. But in the provinces and territories, it does not apply. Include Newfoundland and Labrador, Prince Edward's Island, Quebec, and some sections of Ontario. But it applies every other place. The Torrance system applies everywhere in Canada except these territories I've mentioned. Okay, so what those other territories, these exempted territories use, it's a different system. So if you intend to buy, the essence of this intel is that if you intend to buy from any of these exempted territories, you find out what their rules, the way of the apportion titles of land. Okay, now land titles, anyone can buy land from Canada. Anyone can buy land from Canada, whether foreigner or residential. But be aware that there is provision of purchase of residential properties by Non-Canadian Act. This provision makes it put a complete sort of ban that non-Canadians cannot buy land in their major metropolitans. That law has been in effect for some time now, and it's already coming to an end by January 1, 2027. Be aware, anyone telling you that the major metropolitans like Ottawa, Toronto, Ontario, major that you buy property now with that buy is scamming you. Don't buy, don't pay, or don't process anything. However, this provision law, there's an exemption. The exemptions are for those who have some what do I say now? Some sort of non-permanent residence, like those that have work or study permit. They exempted, so they can. Those that have work or study permit can buy land in any place, but they're exempted. Okay. Now, for you to find out where there is not, there are also areas where there is not exempted, but technically it's in the rural areas of Canada that you can buy. There's something they call census metropolitan areas, CMAs, and census agglomeration, CAs. So, but all these ones are grammar. What it means is that you can't buy in major cities, but you can only buy in less urban areas until January 1, 2027. That's when the provision comes to an end. So don't be deceived or don't be scammed by anyone telling you that as a foreigner now you can buy land in Ottawa, you can buy land in Quebec and the other major cities of Canada. You can't. Okay, so be aware of it. Now, there are 3 major titles of land in Canada, and that is for sole ownership, and then what we call joint tenancy, and joint in common, tenancy in common. That tenancy in common, the sole ownership, of course, confers you the right as an individual or a corporate body, organization, or even to buy land and use it. To own land and use it. Sell, you can sell, you can transfer, you can mortgage. That's the highest form of land title you have in the US. In Canada. Now, for joint ownership, be aware that if you are not buying land solely by yourself in Canada, that maybe a partnership, maybe 2 of you, 3 of you, 5 of you want to purchase a particular property, you be aware that if you buy it as joint tenants, should anything happen to you or any other member of that partnership that bought that land, the land, you cannot bequeath it to your estate. In fact, it passes on to the co-owners. You've lost out. Anyone that dies, the person has lost out. However, in tenancy in common, yes, that's good. So if you are buying property together, use that type of get that type of title, register that kind of title, because each member at death, his own portion or her own portion of that estate, of that goes to his estate or to his loved ones, dependents. Be aware. But you know the name, joint tenancy. When you hear it, you think it's for as a sum. No, it will not. It doesn't behave the way a sum. It's tenancy in common that will help that land, will help you in case of death for your estate to get your own portion. So make important note of it if you are buying land in Canada. Okay? So, however, buying land in Canada as a foreigner is possible with all with all I have mentioned now, provisions and all that. But then, it does not confer on you the right of residency or citizenship. Be aware of that. That means you can own land there, but definitely you are not a citizen or confer you residency right. Be aware of that. If you are a foreigner buying land from Canada, you pay more. Not on the land, on taxes and on mortgages. As a matter of fact, on mortgages, it's as high as down payment as high as 5% of the value of the property you want to buy. But of course, for Canadians and residents, it may be just 10-15%. So, be aware of all this. So, now, while all this intel is necessary for you to be guided, okay? Now, the process of buying land itself. If you are buying land, their way is different there. You have to make an offer to the, first of all, you decide what property you want to buy. If you see it, then you make an offer to the owner. If the owner accepts the offer, then, and that you have, for you to do this, you need your lawyer and the estate agent or estate company. That's where I will come in. If you need a trusted estate company, we can help you to do that. My contact is where it's supposed to be. Or we make a comment in this, use the comment section to give me sparse detail of what to do. I will get back to you. Now, then, but before you make that offer, you must have completed with your mortgage company, if you are going to use mortgage to make that payment, before you make an offer. Once that offer is made and is accepted, then you make arrangement for the mortgage company to pay them. Then you survey the land. You need to survey the land. Then after surveying the land, there's evidence that you have paid everybody that is concerned. You have paid everybody. After paying everybody, it is required that all the necessary tasks you have paid them. If you have paid all the necessary tasks and paid lawyers, paid the estate companies that help you to arrange it, then the next thing is completion. Then they give you the keys to the house or the property. Then you have to go back to the land title office to register it. If you don't, and just believe because you have made this payment, your transaction is invalidated or is not valid yet until you have done so. So because everything starts and ends with land title of offices in each provinces. So that is the thing. So be aware that there are taxes that have to be paid. Sometimes extra tax. You may also be required to fill a form from 1135 is the tax form, and you also may be required to show more evidence that you have good credit to do transaction in Canada, and you also have to declare whether you own a property, foreign property, in excess of 100,000 Canadian dollars.